You mentioned about you felt for Bradley Manning in the jail as soon as you walked in. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah. Well, I was in this real small jail cell. I think it was probably even smaller than Bradley Manning. I think his is 6 by 10 feet or something. Mine was about 6 by 4 feet because there were 2 steel bunks there. And, I thought, wow, here I am. I know that I'm going to get out of here. Worst case, I have to stay overnight, but, I'm going to get out of here. Bradley Manning is, in these circumstances, 23 hours a day for 10 months? That's torture. I mean, that's cruel, inhuman, and what do they call it? Yeah, it's again, it fits all the rubrics of the UN Convention Against Torture. So I'm glad that those lawyers have come forward now, the 250 lawyers plus. They're adding their number every day, because Obama needs to disabuse himself of the notion that, he is the state, and that he can make these decisions irrespective of the Congress or the judiciary.
I want to switch side a little bit with you, and that has to do with what's going on in Libya. Mm-hmm. And could you talk in general, and if you can, specific about the conducts in Libya from the allies or NATO, U.S., and intelligence? That's your field of expertise, and the intelligence that you might know, your analysis of the situation, what's going on.
Sure. Well, nobody mentions this anymore, but the head of the Director of National Intelligence, General Clapper, he was asked at a public hearing, what about Libya, And he said, well, Gaddafi's got some pretty strong forces. The way I see it, he's going to prevail. Well, it really hit the fan. Everybody said, oh, what was he saying that's for? We haven't made these decisions. What's he saying that for? Well, I don't defend the fact that he was dumb enough to say that in public, but if that was the intelligence judgment, and it was, and it turns out to be true, then what's happened since shows the folly of what we've done. It was a political decision. Obama wanted to appear manly, and everybody was beating on him, including those 3 famous women, Hillary Clinton, Samantha Powers, and who was the other one?
Rice?
Yeah, well, not Rice, but anyhow, there were 3 of them, and Susan Rice up there at the Condoleezza Rice, reincarnated. Save us from that. Yeah, so he wanted to appear tough, and it just seems so haphazard, so ill-planned. Is it going to be just defending the civilians? Are you going to leave Gaddafi in power? Are you really going to depend on the French and the British to sort this out? Germany is bowed out of this. Is that not important? Germany bowing out of NATO. So all kinds of problems with this whole operation. It's, I'm afraid, not going to have a very good end, no matter what happens. And crank in the fact that we apparently know very, very little about those folks out there in the east of Libya. Who they are, who they're inspired by, whether they do have ties with Al Qaeda, or whether they're good people, whether they're any better than Gaddafi. So for us to have plunged in there, just because there was a lot of pressure from these 3 women and from other political forces, the neocons in Washington, seems to me really a fool's errand. And if Obama doesn't have any better judgment than that, now that he's screwed up royally in Afghanistan, well, I just wonder if he has any other sense than for what he considers to be the politically profitable thing for him. I think everything he does, unfortunately, is pinned to the election coming up. So he's been a profound disappointment. I don't like it, but I identify with what Cornel West said on Sunday. What did he say? He said, Obama is a mascot for Wall Street. And that's a pretty damning thing to say, but, any objective observer has to say that.